Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Morning Model Cars and Coffee. So I thought today what I would talk about is my reference material books. You know, you guys know I like to build emergency vehicles, so I have over the years collected a various amount of books, you know, depicting all kinds of emergency related stuff. This one right here is jam-packed full of rescue vehicles. I have built a couple in the past using photographs out of this book. It's got all kinds of really neat photographs in it, literally hundreds. I've had this book for, God, forever. So that's one of them. And then another one I like to look through periodically just for the heck of it is this one right here. This one's got a lot of really good photographs in it from days gone by and years gone by. There's a lot of times when if I'm searching for an ideal for a project, you know, Google sometimes just doesn't fill the void. So I always turn back to my books because they got a lot of good information in them. Here's a really neat one. This is the one I used when I made my first open cab American LaFrance, because it's got that raised up portion back there, which is different than what had previously been done. But this one's got photographs of all kinds of stuff. It's got modern, it's got antique. I mean, it's got just about everything in it, and the full colored pictures are really neat to look at. And plus, they give you a lot of good information, you know, about what it is you are looking at. You know, you can't go wrong with a good picture book. You know, look at that big photograph right there. Gives you a good idea, you know, on various colors. You know, you got white, yellow, reds in there, white back there. This one's got a lot of neat stuff in it, and it's got good stories about, you know, the types of emergency lighting that was used and the time periods and things like that. I use that information a lot so I can make sure I try to get my details right. Here's another good one. Pierce Arrow cover shot from the Lexington, Kentucky Fire Department on there. And they always have, you know, good photos on the back. These didn't last too long. They were around about 11 years or so, but still got a lot of good looking photographs in there. And then every photo has a little short information about the truck itself. Some of them, you know, have colored pictures in them, but it looks like this one's all black and white. But we might have to send some photographs to Tim over at Ranger Detail and see what he thinks about making one of these. And then, of course, you guys seen this one when I was working on my 700 build. This one's got some really, really cool pictures in it. Rescue trucks, all the ladder trucks, factory photos. All kinds of really neat stuff. Here's another classic American ambulances, 1900 to 1979. There's a couple photographs there. The very last Cadillac ambulances that were manufactured. Really all kinds of really super cool photographs. To give you the details and the ideals, you know, like for instance, this one, this S&S was the basis of me trying to make that one back there. I got the ideal to make these lights out of the end of an ink pen. And I made the high top on it. Let me see if I can pull it over here without it falling apart on me or losing all the pieces. See, these were made out of the end of an ink pen. This thing is dusty, dusty, dusty. I need to get back on this, but it's been sitting here for so long. I've lost parts to it, and I need to find a donor body for it or something, donor parts. But you can never go wrong having some really good reference material. And since I am basically building one line of modeling, you know, these are easier to collect. Here's a neat one from Young Fire Equipment. They're also out of business. There is a guy right now I know that's 3D printing these cabs in 1/32 scale. But my eyes and fat fingers can't seem to do that scale. A lot of neat pictures in there. A lot of neat pictures, a lot of good ideals. Open cab. All kinds of neat stuff. And then, of course, we can't forget this one. I mean, come on. Talk about some really neat looking cars in here. It goes from antiques all the way up to modern day. All the different types of vehicles that were used by fire chiefs. Pickup trucks, station wagons, buses. So see, my American LaFrance bus that I made wasn't a far cry. That's kind of what gave me the ideal to make what I made. A lot of good, you know, just vintage photographs, you know. Oh, I like looking at vintage photographs anyway. The fire chief rode in style right there with a convertible. All kinds of them. And then the last one I have covers kind of the topic that I'm working on right now on the bench, is the Maxim. This goes all the way from 1914 to 89. And you know, it's got some, they would use different manufacturers' bodies. But all kinds of really, really cool looking photographs, aerial trucks, tankers, lighting trucks. Just all kinds of neat stuff in there. And as you can see, there's still more out there that I do not have. Look at that big old guy right there, man. That would be a modeling project and a half. So, I have been using this book, believe it or not, on my current project. Let me see if I can find a photograph of what I was looking at. There's not a whole lot of them in here because these are all mostly vintage photographs from the factory. I've been trying to date this cab. You know, this picture right here says that don't give a year for this one. But you can see the curvature back here on the back of it. Well, this one's not that way, so it helps me in providing somewhat of an accurate manufacturer's year. See if I can find one. See, these are all curved, but you get the drift or the ideal, so to speak, about where equipment was. You know, like this one's got the extra turn signals on the front. I'm not going to do that on mine. You know, this one does not. I need to make a bell, I think, for this one I'm working on. The metal trim work on there. I thought this gave some dates on it, but some of the other ones do. Oh well. Still, it's good to read about it, you know, because it does have some good information in there about the origins of the factory. These were popular on the east coast of the United States, Massachusetts area. That's where they were manufactured. So, guys, with that being said, we'll wrap this one up for another Sunday morning Model Cars and Coffee. And I will be back later this afternoon with an update on our Maxim project. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.